when there's only 1 minute left, and 2 fingers for when there's 2 minutes left, and 1 finger for when there's 1 minute left.
One finger?
Yeah, like that.
One finger?
Yeah, the digit.
Well, there's 10 seconds down.
Down?
Uh-huh.
Shot to heck already?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Why am I sitting here?
I don't know.
I'm sitting here because you are unhappy with your shirt.
Uh-huh, that's true.
That's what the real deal is.
It's too big.
It is not too big.
It does not look good.
Nobody notices that beautiful X5 shirt is too big.
I do.
Well, what the heck do you count? This is a video for the family.
But this is
with
why
a capital F, the family.
This is why you're on it.
Oh man, I am not the family guy. Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
You're not supposed to talk at all, so talk.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Like typical.
And why am I here? Why can't I be over there at my desk? Huh?
Your desk is boring.
My desk has the checkbook.
Your desk is boring.
The checkbook ain't boring. The checkbook is off. And I gotta find out where it is.
That's
and
true.
I haven't even started with that
That's
today.
true. You gotta email Ellis too.
I do. I have to tell him that we love him dearly and that his parts are on the way. Ellis, you'll probably find out from this faster than you will from the email.
That's
terrible.
Yeah. That's not a good comment.
Terrible. Well, I have here in my hands what Paul was going to talk about, and that is how to use a mill file. Because Paul found out something, on the internet or something?
No, in class.
In class. In his class. Paul is taking a class on how to be a machinist.
There's a background story here, and that is that as much stuff as I've made for our...
Background story.
Yeah, right. As much stuff as I've made for our prototype cars and development and R&D purposes, in the last 3-4 years, I have never had any formal machining, training, experience, anything.
Paul is entirely self-taught.
I have literally just taught myself how to cut stuff on our little mill and on our router then. And so this past January, we set about to fix that a little bit, and I enrolled in a local community college. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but they have just a wonderful department with a lot of equipment and a great amount of experience that I've been able to tap into.
A lot of really dialed machines there.
And yeah, so I'm actually learning, the proper way to do stuff instead of just making it up as I go.
Didn't you tell me that the guy who teaches the class, who has like 30 years experience working in the business, has at his house a mill that's exactly like ours?
One of the professors does, not the one who teaches the class I took.
Oh, okay. Well, one of them does.
Yeah.
So,
but it was really cool. The class I took was once a week. It was a lab-style class where it was all project-based. And so I was actually able to work on X-Factory parts in the class. I talked with the professor beforehand, and he normally has projects that he gives out. One of the students made a little steam engine. Some of the students made like mill vices and, some stuff for like the shops or whatever. And I said, hey, is it all right if I come in and make X7 parts and slipper shafts and pivot plates?
Paul would be crazy. The class was on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And it was on Wednesday evening. He had to be there at like 5:30 or something. And he would be crazy from about noon on producing CAD, computer-aided design, for the part that he was going to make that night. Because he never could get that done. He never does anything before he has to. Right. And so we wouldn't get anything done on Wednesday because Paul would be working on the CAD for his Wednesday night stuff.
But anyway, it was a wonderful experience. It's over now. Tomorrow is my first Wednesday free in a while.
But you're going to re-up for a summer class, aren't you?
No, probably next fall.
Not till fall?
Yeah.
Bummer. It was nice having you out of here.
Right.
I would have a night to myself in the shop.
You never got anything done.
Well, I had a night to myself, I didn't have to get anything done.
But anyway, yeah, and so just the amount of stuff I learned and picked up and the quality of parts that I've made has been really increasing.
Yeah. And here's one of the things that Paul picked up. I have here a mill file. And I have here a part that Paul is making. This is actually an X7 part for those of you who'd like to see very carefully, it's one of the X7 bulkheads. This
It's a
will
left-
tell you everything you need to know.
It's a left center bulkhead.
He even says it's a left center bulkhead. So watch for
in
this
the latest,
on a car near
in fact,
you.
the latest design change is evident there. We are moving to the big wheel bearing for one of the slipper shafts. Yeah, Chaz has got one.
I got one. Right here. This is the large outer wheel bearing from the rear hub carrier.
But we're putting that in the slipper
And
shaft.
instead of putting 3/16 by 3/8 wheel bearings in
Yeah.
the slipper shaft like everybody else does, we're going to use this, 3/16 by 1/2, I
Yeah,
believe.
yep.
And it's a thicker bearing
Uh-huh.
side to side, and we're going to use that at least on the left side of the shaft. I don't think we're going to use it on the right, but I think we're going to use it on the left.
Yeah.
Okay. So what Paul learned is
Well,
that a file only cuts in one direction.
I kind of knew that already, but it was definitely...
I
I
never knew
hadn't-
that. I always thought that when you drag the file back and forth, you were
Yeah,
filing
no,
both
no.
ways.
The teeth are... It's just like using a hacksaw that only cuts in one direction.
Yeah, the teeth are all away from
Yeah,
you.
you push
You have to
it.
push away, and that's when you're doing work. And you actually can do it the way I'm doing it here, where you push away and lift
Mm-hmm.
instead of drag. Depends on how lazy you are, I guess, as to what you're going to get. So that's our tech tip from the day. When you're filing stuff with a mill file, always push it away from you.
Actually, if we want to talk about RC tips here, you can go to a tool supply shop. There's one in almost all major cities, and pick up some small. They have small mill files,
Have we got one handy?
Uh,
I don't think so. I don't think we got one.
no, they're in the small middle envelope behind on the shelf there, Chad.
Yeah. Dig it.
Uh huh.
Dig it. Paul has a bunch of little files.
And I
Which he-
tell you, like I picked up some of those for here in the shop, and some of those for in my regular RC toolbox. I picked them up 2 years ago.
Yeah, and what are they, like $2 a piece or
Yeah,
something?
they're really cheap, but
But you can
I
go to
use
your
them-
local Harbor Freight or
I
your
use them
local-
more and more and more. I mean, they're great for just smoothing out, molded parts. If an aluminum part has something that doesn't fit, or whatever. I mean, certainly
Yeah.
as I build prototype cars, they're invaluable.
No X-Factory production part would need any of these guys. You can just throw these suckers away when
But-
you're dealing with our stuff.
Anyway, but that's my real tip for the day: is go and pick up some tiny mill files. Mill files.
At your local, don't get them at Walmart, guys. Go to your local tool supply store and plunk down
Harbor
$8
Freight.
or $10 for 4 or 5
Harbor
of them.
Freight probably has them.
Yeah.
They'd be all right.
Yeah.
But
that's
they're
what
just-
I'm saying.
They're just a
tool
really
place
nice
would
part of
have
your
them.
toolbox.
Yeah, but not Walmart.
Anyway, we've driveled on
Much too long.
much too long.
Again?
Always, Chaz.
Oh, man.
Always.
What's a mother to do?
Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Paul's waving.